Hey there again, this is Brian Gormley with another edition of Where in Greater DC. We film all over the DC-Baltimore metro region, each week different location, and we have a guess where we're filming. The first person to send a correct guess to support at Cornerstone Properties homeinfo.com. That's support at Cornerstone Properties homeinfo.com gets a free prize, whatever we're giving away this week. And as you know, we're continuing on with our little jaunt through the touristy section of DC. This week it's a fun place to go, regardless of your socio-demographic background. There's a lot to learn in the building behind me, so definitely highly recommend at least 2 visits. It's hard to see everything in one, and definitely check it out if you get a chance. So the topic for discussion for this week is the MCSBA, it's the Maryland Credit Services Business Act. As you may know, you're supposed to be licensed under this act to negotiate short sales, regardless of whether you're an agent or not. The general rule of thumb is that you can process paperwork, in other words, act as a conduit back and forth, but not negotiate in terms of value of the property, promissory notes, deficiency judgments, residual balances, and so on. Literally just passing paperwork, and that's it, without a license. But the Attorney General's office for the state of Maryland and the Commissioner of Financial Regulation's position is that in order to negotiate short sales, you have to be licensed under the statute. Okay, so they have now, as many of you may have already heard, decided to reverse that position and in fact not require a license under this statute to negotiate short sales, which is in many ways a really good thing. I mean, the statute doesn't actually mention the phrase short sales in the text of the statute. There's a preamble that mentions short sales. And on their website, the DLR has a little blurb about short sale negotiation and MCSBA. But the statute itself is extremely unclear, and clearly it was designed, I think, to go after the scam artist for loan mods and credit repair, and not necessarily with a mind towards short sales per se. Also, it's not too realistic to think that a realtor is going to get licensed just to negotiate a couple of short sales that they have in their bailiwick. So it was pretty much a revenue-raising statute, and it wasn't substantive. There was no prerequisites per se to getting the license. I mean, you had to have a certain bank balance and get a surety bond and pay a application fee and so on. But it's not like you had to take classes or have a certain amount of experience or in any other way be qualified to negotiate. It was really just a tool for the state to use to hammer down on abuses. So all in all, I think it's a good thing that they're clarifying the position and not really going after people. I don't think they were going to go after people anyway, but they probably got enough pressure from R and other places where they finally backed off and said, okay, you don't have to be licensed in the statute, we're not enforcing it anyway. So, as such, you could talk to ETC about enforcement under this and other statutes, but by and large, it's a good move, and just so you know, you can rest assured if you don't have a license, you don't need to go get one. And don't be intimidated by those who say that you have to be licensed under the statute, because you no longer be. So anyway, that's my stint. Don't forget, capitalshortsale.com. We do negotiate short sales for free for agents and homeowners alike. If you are tired of wasting your time going back and forth with the bank, get in touch with us. We're happy to take on your short sale for you. And what else do I have to say? Check out our site, capitalshortsale.com. There's other freebie things, free lunches and so on that I encourage you to take advantage of when you get the opportunity. So I hope to see you on another video, and look forward to your guests' support at Cornerstone Properties homeinfo.com. Thanks so much. Hey there, it's Brian again. Just a quick addendum to this video that we just shot, just to give a little bit more clarification and information. The Department of Labor and Licensing, DLOR for Maryland, as well as the Real Estate Commission, has actually come out with some additional guidance in addition to the elimination of the licensing requirement under MCSBA, which we just discussed. They've also come out with this thing called the Maryland MARS Act. Okay, and it basically mirrors the federal MARS Act, and does not exempt real estate licensees for negotiating short sales. So if you're an agent, you can still take a short sale listing, but you're not exempt if you do anything such as negotiate the short sale, advertise in the marketplace that you're a short sale expert. If you tell a homeowner anything about the likelihood of getting a deficiency waived, or being able to stop foreclosure, any of these things are going to trigger problems for you if you're a licensed agent, because the state is going to say that you're not acting within the scope of your license. And so that will trigger a whole bunch of disclosure and representation requirements under the Maryland Mars Act. If you do anything other than pass paperwork, and furthermore, and you've got to actually do more than that. You actually have to tell the seller that you're not a licensed attorney, that they need to go talk to a CPA and a housing counselor. You actually have to disclose that in writing, and you've got to tell them that you're not negotiating the short sale, and that in fact actively that they should go hire someone who complies with the Maryland Mars Act, and or is an attorney. And so if you don't do that, then you're going to subject yourself to severe legal consequences, as in losing your license, having monetary, civil damages, and even a cease and desist order. So be very careful. There are definite things that you need to watch out for still. Just because they've eliminated the licensing requirement doesn't mean that there are not any more pitfalls. There are significant disclosures that you have to provide if you're going to take on your own short sale. And really, at the end of the day, what the state is saying is go hire yourself an attorney who's going to comply with this stuff, or who's otherwise exempted from these requirements, which the Act does provide. So take-home point here is don't do your own short sales. There's way too much liability. Go hire an attorney who can take this on and whose regular practice it is to negotiate short sales. Okay, so that's it for me. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.